Good morning to all my early risers. We are making our way over from East Tennessee into southwestern Virginia for the Virginia Creeper Trail. This is important because they need our finances to help rebuild thanks to the tourism.
You'll ride down 10 miles to Alvarado train station and we'll pick you guys up there.
That's Jerry Campers, owner of Virginia Creeper Trail Bike Shop.
From Abingdon to Damascus is open, but right now we're servicing from Abingdon to Alvarado just because of the sensitivity of the situation in Damascus.
Part of the Creeper Trail is still open for cyclists, and locals attest to its beauty.
So I've done the White Top to Damascus a couple times, and I'm really excited about doing this half. We just wanted to come and congregate and have fun.
We got geared up at the shop. We signed some forms, prepped the bikes.
It's a nice day to ride.
And grabbed helmets. Safety first. Then we were off. The ride is gorgeous, to say the least. I underestimated how relaxing it would be, forgetting the mess of the past month and focusing on the sights and sounds. But after the 7-mile marker, you start to see it. Trees ripped from their roots, bumpy and muddled parts of the trail, and masses of debris along the Holston River. Lingering signs of Hurricane Helene. All right, 10 miles done. We're gonna see where things are a little bit messier over in Damascus. We rode into town and saw that they're hard at work rebuilding, but something's missing. Tourists.
I know that everybody feels guilty about coming here, but that's the only thing that's going to help bring the town back.
Katie Lawson has lived in Damascus her whole life, and she's never seen anything like this. Few have. The last time this happened was over 50 years ago.
So it was kind of new for everybody, and it was very scary the first day. After that, it was kind of like, okay, what do we do now?
Katie doesn't usually work at Wilson's Cafe. She can't work her regular job at the Damascus Diner because it's damaged, so she's stepping in elsewhere, like at the local bakery, but it's hard for a tourist town to profit with no tourists.
That whole day, I think we did $70 in sales, which is like, personally, it's not even enough to pay me, one worker.
There is help coming from the outside. While at the cafe, we ran into the mayor of Damascus, Katie Lim, a busy leader dealing with a crisis.
Sorry, multitasking.
She's seen nothing but love and support from organizations like FEMA and United Way.
I mean, it's just been absolutely overwhelming, heart-wrenching, heartwarming.
It's an emotional roller coaster, to say the least.
We get through.
Yeah.
And the spirit of the people, the resilience of these people, you know, we're Appalachian strong too. So Damascus strong, Appalachian strong. I'm proud to be the mayor here.
It's really brought everybody together. Like that's, I'd say, the only good thing that has came out from that.
Just like in western North Carolina and East Tennessee, there's a long, difficult road ahead for southwestern Virginia. And the best way to help out is to hit the road. Out of Virginia, I'm Tavian Whitehurst. I'm here on Round Bald on Carver's Gap, right between the North Carolina-Tennessee line. Behind me, you can see the North Carolina side in the Blue Ridge Mountains. In front of me, we've got Upper East Tennessee and the Great Smoky Mountains. Now, these mountains are one of the big attractors that bring people into the area, but I'm gonna show you that there's just as much to experience at the base of the mountain as there is up on the tops. The town of Roan Mountain is an unassuming spot along Route 19 East, but it's a tight-knit community that's just as closely connected with nature. What are some of the big parts of living in this town?
Hiking and hunting. The Roan Highlands up here are, people come from all over the world. Forces you to remind you, you have to stop and look around and go, you know, it's amazing here.
There are two communities that have formed here in Roan Mountain, the locals and the hikers. They're two different representations of living in the mountains that complement each other well.
Most hikers get that community. You know, the locals wanting to help out, wanting to get to know how your adventure and journey's going. They live vicariously through them.
And there are places that these groups can join together. Spots like Mountain Harbor Bed and Breakfast. Owner David Hill and his team have worked for a decade to turn the farm into a rest and relaxation haven. Many say their food is the best in town and the whole Appalachian Trail.
Last night the special was a Reuben and fries, and I came down here still sweaty, dirty, gross, threw my pack off and got a blue moon right away. I mean, the hiking is great, of course I love the hiking or I wouldn't be out here, but these tend to be the best days. Chill, relax, hang out with other hikers, air dry all your stuff.
And speaking of food, there's no shortage of deliciousness around here. There's pizza, Mexican, and some sleep-inducing barbecue that we had for lunch. But what really jolts this town to life is the Rhododendron Festival at the end of June. Over 100,000 attendees patronize over 100 vendors that range from fair food to art to handmade artisans set up in Roan Mountain State Park. Melanie Ellis-Avgene is a local print and gift maker, but she's also a native who found her way back home. This festival is a way to connect to her local legacy.
This is my dad. My dad loved to fish, so he's a fly fisherman, and he passed last year, so we honor him that way. My grandparents were both school teachers here, and I use Ellis when I go to an event, and every single time someone will say, your grandmother was my favorite teacher, or your grandfather whacked my knuckles one too many times, or something. But it's just cool to have a history in a place.
If you're trying to catch rhododendrons in bloom, it's a tight window. They bloom for a 2-week-long period at the end of June, and it's totally dependent on weather conditions. Too much heat, cold, wind, or rain could wipe them out. This year, the famous rhododendron garden at the top of Carver's Gap is closed for renovations, but that's not stopping anything. Organizers instead want to take that energy and encourage visitors to explore the rest of the park and around town where you can still see the blooms. Flowers aside, it's not hard to have a great time anywhere along the mountain. You could even beef up your experience after the festival hanging out at the Appalachian Station at 19E. They've got a lengthy beer selection, a live concert hall for entertainment, and another hostel above it. Out of Roan Mountain, I'm Tavian Whitehurst. So the first step, of course, is that we have to get our gear, and that's why we're headed to Knoxville Adventure Collective. They're gonna help get us set up with everything that we need.
Looks so cool in here.
There, we got our kayak,
1, 2, 3.
paddles, life jackets, and a dry bag.
Yeah.
Then they taught us how to properly strap the kayak to the car. We were on our way pretty quickly. Now we've got our gear, all we gotta do is get our supplies, and then we're headed over to the river. The trip there is about 2 hours, which is an easy ride that's mostly on I-40. We made it, y'all, and look at how gorgeous this view is right here. As we arrived, we happened to catch one of the many guided tours on their way back in. We tuned into a local history lesson told by Tara Hunt, co-owner of Kayaking Adventures of Tennessee.
All right, one last check to make sure we got everything before we get out onto the water. Whoa, we've got bug spray, we've got sunscreen, we got food for energy, and of course, you gotta stay hydrated with some water as well, and your life jackets. One more important thing that Tara recommended was closed-toed shoes. Due to the flooding, leftover metals or debris may be along the riverbed, so protecting your feet is paramount.
Nice.
And we're off! The journey is 2 miles each way, totaling 2 hours of kayaking. You'll see all sorts of nature and wildlife on your way, from the water, the forest, and the skies. It's a unique angle compared to what you usually see on a hike.
I did it the first time last week, and I was surprised at how fast I was there. You'll hear the waterfall about 7 or 8 minutes before you see it.
Okay, that is very comforting. Thank you.
Oh, I hear it. It's getting so loud. Wait, there it is.
We made it! Burgess Falls right in front of me. She's gorgeous.
Hey, Queen.
You're looking up to Burgess Falls, otherwise known as the Queen of the South. We docked for a while and had lunch on the nearby landing. It's a beautiful view before we made our way back. Out of Sparta, I'm Tavian Whitehurst.
There are areas of the cave that remain unmapped. And since there are unmapped areas, we can't necessarily say how expansive they are.
A cave that stood the test of time and yet is still shrouded in mystery. There's a lot of unknowns about this place, but we're about to see just how far mankind has explored. Plenty of people have walked these halls over the centuries, including 2-year tour guide Eli McConkey.
There's just so much to talk about, so much to see, so much to learn in here, and it never stops. It's so interesting.
This cave has been a meeting room for chiefs, a mine for gunpowder metal, and a bar for partygoers before becoming an underground expedition for curious folk worldwide.
It was nothing like what we expected until we got here. And
Yeah, it was really cool.
It's like, this is just beyond amazing.
As old as it is, the cave is bound to have some lore surrounding it.
Right here, this is the bear's paw. I'll go ahead and give him a high five.
Particularly around a spot called the Devil's Hole.
If you look down in it and you've been good, you'll see nothing, it's just a hole. And if you look down in it and you've been bad, you'll see the face of the devil himself.
I see nothing.
That's good.
Most of the cave is very open and constantly lit by flashlights.
Watch your step coming through here, guys. It's a little slick.
But there are some tighter spaces that make for a true cave experience.
It's not for everybody, that's for certain.
Because when the lights go out,
This is what we call total natural darkness. This is what it's like to be completely naturally blind, and if you were down here like this for more than 2 weeks, you'd go blind.
this is the kind of darkness that a 13-year-old Ben Sands crawled into when he first discovered the cave and lake back in 1905.
Now, when it opens up in here, this is really one of the most, moments.
Nowadays, adventurous kids can see so much more by the time they reach the Lost Sea. The water below is clear and serene, allowing you to fully see what tends to be the main attraction, the fish. Contrary to popular rumors, these fish are not naturally occurring, albino, or blind. The fish were first brought to help scientists find out where the water from the cave leads, but they never left. Because of the unnatural habitat, the fish actually lose most of their color and 20% of their eyesight. Other attempts to discover the watery depths of the sea were to no avail. So, how deep is the cave really? Couldn't tell ya.
One of my favorite things is to tell people we don't know, because it invites a sort of pursuit for discovery, that want to know more.
As your discoveries end and you return to the surface above the Lost Sea, the bright yellow hull serves to help your eyes readjust to the light. Out of Sweetwater, I'm Tavian Whitehurst.